So I told some guys I would make a video about some accessory lists for the two-handed pinch. I have some tools that I made up to use, and I just want to talk about them for a second. It's nothing that great. These are things I made up on my own. Haven't got really that many tips from other guys who are doing two-handed pinch, so I kind of went on a quest to think of some things on my own. These tools that I made are just something you would do in addition to on an off day. You could do it after you're done pinching, maybe for a warm-up, maybe something to change it up a little to hit a new plateau. Okay, so this is the first thing that I made here. This is a pinch block that is foam rubber, okay? You can squeeze it. The reason I made this one is because I was getting cut a lot, okay? It's kind of slippery. You can't lift a whole ton with it, all right? This is one tool. Second thing I do to help me with pinching so I don't get tore up and I can get a lot of volume without getting hurt is I use leather work gloves. I cut the fingers off because my hands are too big and I couldn't get my hands all the way in, so I guess my fingers might stick out about that far. Okay. Once I'm done pinching, I'll go to the gloves and I can do a lot more volume. I might have to knock off 20 or 30 pounds of what I'm pinching, but I can still get a good volume workout and, you know, be sore as if I was, say, bench pressing, you know, but in my hands. Okay. Another thing that I think is real good, I did these a lot, I guess it was last year before I went to the Capital Grip Cup. I used to do a lot of, this is just a pony clamp, it says right here, pony. Home Depot has ones with green here. Just same thing. These actual ones are actually hard. They're probably even good for a little kid's gripper. I put these metal plates on here so that you can, when you're pinching, your thumb isn't here. It's here. So I put this on so that you can have your thumb to the side, just like you would in a pinch. Because if you had it in the center, you'd be like this, and really that's not how you pinch. Maybe somebody does, I don't know, but I don't. Here's a little one. This is, you know, just to work the thumb. Usually I'm doing it, flicks out of my hand, so I took it on a cinder block and went to rough it up a little bit. I think these are big help. You can do it two hands too. This one I've actually never been able to squeeze all the way. I guess if I force it I could hold it, but they're actually pretty tough. This is another thing I use. I'll take this to, I belong to a gym too. I go there now and then when I can get there. I'll hook this to their machines. You know, maybe I'll do pull downs or triceps or something like that. Just something to hold to work the thumb. Okay. That's a softball, and I just put an eye hook in there, and I think you get a pretty good workout with it too. Here's another wooden pinch block I made. When I used to work night turn, I would just take maybe 20 or 30 pounds of weights and a chain on here, and I would do swings like this. So if I lost it or broke it or smashed it, it was no big deal. It's made out of wood. If it cracked, I would just make another one. This is a piece of PVC. There's a wood down here. I have a picture of it on the gripboard.com. And I also made this because I was getting a lot of thumb cuts right here in the webbing. So I don't grab this like a Rolling Thunder. I would grab it more like this with straight fingers. Okay, and I could hook this to, you know, the bottom down here and do pulls with it, or you could hook it to a loading pin and put something on there. But actually PVC is pretty grippery. It's not that slippery, and you could just lift just like you're doing a two-handed pinch, but pinch it, don't grip it. Here's something that I like really cool. This is I did my deck outside, so this is decking, and I have a a metal piece of pipe in here with a big long bolt. This spins. This is chain. So what I would do with this is hook this up here, and I would do pulls. I think I have 50 pounds on there now. It actually works pretty good with chalk. So that's what you would do. And you pick the weight that works for you at the time. And well, with a lighter weight, you could do like a tricep thing. I still have too much on there. But as you go down, as you're going down, you're putting pressure on the thumb, which is the main part of the pinch. Here's another one I made. I just took two pieces of that fiber decking, put a chain through the middle and a hook. I think this most resembles my pinch. It's not exactly 54, but I think it's close enough. The edges are rounded, and I'll put it down here. And pull like that. You know, I would stand in front of it though. You could do one arm rows with it. You can make up your own workout, whatever you might want to do in addition to pinching. Most of the guys, they do, I see workout logs and they'll do a two-handed pinch workout, which consists of, you know, 2 or 3 at a certain weight, you know, 4 or 5 at a certain weight, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, fail, they're done. These extra things will give you a chance to do more volume. One of the other implements that I made that I think is good for an accessory lift for the two-handed pinch is I made this one-handed pinch block adjustable dumbbell. I had another video with this. I'm not sure if anyone saw it. So this is that same decking. I took 2 pieces of steel. I think this was 3/16. I screwed it on. This was just one of those Weider dumbbells, and I grinded out the inside of it so that I could actually get the pieces flat. This measures at 65 millimeters. So this is a heck of a lot wider than my two-handed pinch. Well, I use 54, so if somebody used 65, this would be perfect. You could do it on a table saw, and if I wanted to make this 54, I could do that. No problem if I wanted to, but at the time, this is what I wanted. Things you can work on this is a one-handed pinch. There had been some debate on the gripboard.com about if one-handed pinch helps your two-handed pinch. I don't know if it does. I never really compared the two. I know some guys right now are trying to do that. So you could, you know, add your weight on here, whatever you wanted. You can lift for a max weight. I was trying to do some cleans with it, where I was just, you know, coming down and going up and doing my cleans. What it does is it gets used to, if you pull it up fast, it gets you used to grab it on and going, just like you would with your two-handed pinch. This is metal. It rusted up a little bit when I had it at the beach. It takes chalk real good. It's a better gripping surface than without the metal, but I have an option. This thing's great to travel with. I can throw this flat in my suitcase, like when I'm on a vacation, throw a couple weights under the car seat, and it travels real well. I don't know, maybe 6-7 pounds when it's all done. I think this is one of the best things that I did make. I'm going to do a little bit of pinching here, and I'm going to show you how I grip the pinch apparatus itself. Here's my pinch apparatus. I'm going to show you now how I actually grab onto it. Okay, I take this part of my thumb, right here where it bends. Okay, I put it right on the edge. I have my edges filed a little bit, enough so that they're not razor sharp. I did it with the angle grinder. I went around a couple times, and then I sanded them with a piece of 100 grit sandpaper so they're not bumpy or anything. And then from there, the natural, just the basement took over. Okay. So when you're pinching, you don't want to just grab it and pull like that. Okay. You put it on here, both hands. I'll just show you one hand. And I get most of my tears from grabbing, and then when you pull the weight, the skin moves down. That causes your tear. Okay. These guys with razor sharp plates, they better get a file or angle grinder and get it down some. Okay. There's no reason you should be getting cut because it's sharp. I get cut because I'm squeezing and pulling a lot of weight. I think that some people have said, or rather I've seen some people that they'll turn their thumbs like this. I think Jed Johnson from the Diesel Crew, he may grip a little lower. I had read somewhere that he suggested that to somebody. I put it there, and then I wrap my hand tightly around the pinch apparatus. David Horn has a scale where he tells you how to measure somewhere, and then you get your width. Your width is up to you. Do what you want. The way I got my width is I went and looked at all the top lifters and what width they were using, and that's what I used. You can do what you want. So grab like that, and when I squeeze, I'm not squeezing with my fingers. I'm squeezing with here and here, this area. Okay. If I could cut my fingertips off, I could probably pinch the same way. Because my fingertips aren't really, I don't have claws where I'm digging in there or anything. So I'll put it on, pull forward a little bit to tighten up the skin, get these fingers on, and I'll do it fast. I watched some people pinch, and they'll dial it in real good, and they know exactly where they want it. That's fine, whatever the best way that you want to get set. I'll put it on there. I'll go like this and get it. Also, foot placement. Some say to put your heels up here. Some say, my feet are usually middle of the implement. So that's how I would do it. Okay. Next, I'm going to cover how you actually lift it. These are cool. This is just your regular Olympic spring collars. I just kept going like this, and I think I wedged them in my squat bar and just kept pushing down until they actually got smaller. So now I'm not messing around holding my plates on. I made these for my farmer's walk. I welded a bolt on here. You could do the same, whatever you like. I want to cover the actual lifting of the implement. This is the way I do it again. It's not the way that's the right way or the wrong way. I'll get my feet about maybe tips here or middle of the foot, and I'll lift almost exactly like I'm deadlifting, like that. Okay. I don't really use so much legs, but here's one. So just watch my mechanics. From here, I get my webbing in there, set the thumbs, reach down, pinch, how my hands are here. See here? As far as width, how wide my feet are. Well, this thing's in the way. Maybe shoulder width or a little bit wider. So here's from the front. A lighter weight. Lighter weight, I don't try to get real tight because I know I can lift it. This is only 120 pounds. So sometimes with a lighter weight, I'll just grab it. I'll just grab it loosely. That way, I'm saving my webbing for the heavier weight, which will come later in the workout. After I get cut or something, like I said I usually do, I'll put on my work gloves and I'll do some volume. So my fingers don't come out very far at all. I will chalk my hands. And I will chalk the gloves. And I'll do the same thing. I don't hold it up there like that, I'm just showing you, okay? These gloves are great. After I'm done with the workout, I might want to do, I'll drop down to maybe like 190 pounds or something like that and do 20 singles. When I'm done, I'm not bleeding any worse, I'm not cut any worse, I didn't rip anything worse, but I do feel like I got more of a workout. Next day, maybe if you're sore, Joe Musselwhite came up with this idea, deep tendon massage. I wouldn't really do that during a workout. Maybe it could be incorporated as some type of warm-up. Okay, I'm actually going to do some lifts now and add some weight to it so you can see how my form looks and how my grip looks under weight. Here's 170. Sometimes I won't even chalk up right in the beginning. I'll save the chalk for later just so the warm-up sets are worth it, you know. Okay. Sometimes when I'm warming up, I'll just do a rep like that, and sometimes I'll do partials. It depends if I'm lazy. I may actually just sit on my chair right here like this, and I'll just sit here and pull it up and do partials. This is probably a little bit too much weight. I'll use my calf sometimes with lighter weight. Here's 190 pounds. Also, if anyone may have noticed that I have 35 pounders on here. I don't get too much tilt, nor do I try to tilt it. David Horn recently posted that he doesn't do tilting, and so that's something that I haven't tried not to do from the beginning, even before I had even heard that. I just started using these 35s. It was easier for me to get the weight on faster, so I just stuck with that. I think at comps they may start with 25 pounders on there. I believe we did at the Capital Grip Cup. when I'm coming down, and I just bopped myself that time, when I'm coming back down, right before I get to the bottom, I'll just let it go or let my hands come up for two reasons. One, because when you bring it down and you get that full set down, it slams right into the webbing and it'll bust you open if you have a scab there or callus from the last time you pinch lifted. I have a piece of carpet on here. Like I said, the second reason is I don't want to destroy my mat. Here's 200 pounds. And again, this video isn't to say, oh, look how much Paris can't lift, or look how much Paris can lift. This is just to show you how I'm lifting under heavier weights. This is 200 pounds. There's a ton of guys out there that say this is a lightweight, and there's a ton of guys out there who think this is a heavier weight. This is the very bottom of David Horn's top 50 pinch lift list. I think it starts at 200 pounds, or at least it was. I don't know what it is now. Again, I'll just chalk up, get it in here. Feet here, and again, if this damn thing wasn't here, my stance might end up a little bit wider. I don't know. So I set my fingers, grab one. At the bottom, I let it slip off on purpose. Here. Also, I know the film's going to keep cutting because I'm going to put this together. But in between these lifts, I'm not taking a whole lot of time. I'm taking there's maybe a minute or 2 minutes in between each of the lifts. I change the weights. I walk around the basement. I stretch a little bit, do a little bit of this, and then I come right back and lift. I get I'm not at a gym. I'm in my basement time, so I need to come down and do my pinch workout and get it over with. I also have the most energy for lifting at night in the evening. I'll wait a couple minutes and I'll hit it again. I'll try hitting it maybe 3 or 4 times, and then I'll just call quits, and then I'll move to my gloves and drop back down. Half the time the humidity is what's limiting you. We just had the Hurricane Irene come in, so it's super humid. My sump pump's been going off for a day and a half now. Humidity makes a big difference on pinch lifting. Radio Shack sells a little gadget about this big that you can set in your basement, and it'll tell you the humidity of your room. It would be good to get one of those too, because when you have a really great pinch day, you say, wow, I want to do that again. Next day you go to do it, or next time you go to max out, you're way off or you're way higher, and you can't understand why. It could be the humidity. When you have good numbers, write it down. When you have bad numbers, write humidity down. I don't know, they're like maybe 15 or 20 bucks. I don't own one. Mike K from Bender's Battlefield, he has one, and so he turned me on to that. I still need to buy one. Okay, so after I'm done doing my regular pinching with just my bare hands, I'll switch to my gloves. So I have 170 on here now, and I'll call it one set, but they're actually singles with a regrip. Okay. I might even take like, a couple breaths in between. I don't regrip it and grab it right away, and I'm not in a race or anything. So I might take a breath, maybe walk out of the room, walk back in. But I'll still call it one set because I officially had not quit. inside. See me shrug my shoulders that time? I almost never do that. I did it because my bar was going to hit my bench right here. I just pull straight up. That's my tips. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave it below, or you can contact me at bendersbattlefield.com, gripboard.com, David Horn's World of Grip. If you have any questions or need help, I don't have a whole ton of time to be a trainer or anything like that. I'm not looking to do that. There's plenty of guys out there. Jed Johnson from the Diesel crew, he'll train you if you want to. I'm sure there's a couple other people as well. But those are my tips. Help the new guys out, and see if we can all move up that ladder.